Welcome back. It's Wednesday, and I'm going to be reading Geronimo Stilton today, continuing the book, The Journey Through Time. Let us continue. The Formula for Time Travel. Professor Von Volt and I have been friends for a long time. He's a fascinating mouse who has devoted his life to making new scientific discoveries. Unfortunately, I never know where to find him. That's because he has a habit of constantly moving his secret lab without telling anyone, because he doesn't want other mice to know what he's working on. That means he usually has to seek me out when he needs my help. And one of his projects or experiments. "Geronimo!" he exclaimed. "Give me a big hug. What do you think of my new lab?" I looked around the huge subterranean room. In front of me was a big steel desk covered in glass test tubes and beakers. Each one was filled with a mysterious colored liquid. The test tubes bubbled and emitted a variety of stinky vapors. Poof. I also noticed several sheets of paper covered with sketches and scientific formulas. "Geronimo, I sent you that mysterious letter because I wanted to be sure no one could figure out where my laboratory is," the professor explained. "But I wanted you to come here so that I could show you my latest and greatest invention." A new invention?" I said, intrigued. "Yes," the professor squeaked with excitement. "It's a machine that allows mice to travel through time." He pointed to a mysterious object in the center of the room that was covered with a sheet. You mean it's a time machine?" I said, amazed. Professor Von Volt lifted the sheet off the object to reveal a brass time machine shaped like an enormous slice of cheese. An engraving read on it, "Mouse Mover 3000. This time machine can travel forward and backward in time," the professor explained. "It can also move in and out of parallel worlds like a Mobius strip." I looked inside the time machine. It had a bright brass finish with solid bolts. I noticed 5 velvet-backed chairs that looked like dentist chairs, except they were equipped with sturdy safety belts. Professor Von Volt explained that to travel one had to program a chronometer, which was a super advanced timepiece with where and when to visit. Right next to the chronometer was a red button labeled "Press Here." Professor Von Volt continued to explain how the time machine worked. "Geronimo, do you know about Albert Einstein's theory of relativity?" He asked me. "Well, I learned it in school, but..." My snout turned purple with embarrassment. I didn't remember a thing about Einstein's theory. Well, in Einstein's formula, E equals mc squared, energy is equal to mass times the speed of light squared, right? The professor asked. Yes, of course, I replied. One evening, I decided to take a warm bath, Professor Von Volt continued. I grabbed a cube of cheese to snack on as I sewed. I nodded quickly, and it disappeared in an instant. The cheese was transferred to another dimension, my stomach. Suddenly, I developed a new formula. Energy equals the mass of the cheese times the velocity at which the mouse nodded cubed. When I did some calculations using my new formula, I discovered it was possible to travel through time, the professor continued. I'm leaving on the first journey as soon as possible. And I need some passengers for the Mouse Mover 3000. Would you and your family like to come? Me? I squeaked. No, Professor, I couldn't. Suddenly, Thea's and Trap's face popped into my mind. I knew the two of them would love to go on a trip through time. I sighed. I couldn't say no. Professor, the Stilton family would be honored to travel with you, I told him. We'll see you next Wednesday.